Hey guys, Retro Dude here. Thanks for visiting our channel again, where we check out all things retro. Mainly we focus on video games, but we do veer off occasionally into anime, cartoons, movies. Basically anything to do with retro, we'll take a look at it. Now today I want to share with you guys an app. That's right, just a singular app. It's called AntStream Arcade. So this app is only for Android, but as far as I've seen it, you can actually get it on Fire TVs as well. Now the reason why I want to share it with you guys is because it's a retro arcade app. That's right, it has a ton of different arcade games. As far as I could tell, free to play. Now from what I gathered, it's probably going to be ad based with a premium subscription removing those ads. It is a fledgling app, so it doesn't have too many games, but it does have a significant amount. It has, I think I read somewhere that has like 1,500 different games. Most of them, I mean, arcades were hit and miss back in the day, so you have some really good ones, you had some really crappy ones, but we all have our memories of playing those arcade games. So some of them I might like and you might not even know anything about, and some of them you might like and I might know nothing about them, just because that's what was there in the arcades when you went to play the arcades. So checking it out, I really like the interface. So the first thing that I could tell you is I have my own little setup of how I play my arcade games, how I play my retro games, and it probably plays a little bit better than this just because it's not being streamed. It doesn't require the internet to actually play the games, but I really like this interface because it has a huge potential. Basically, I mean, you just set it up, you set up your own account on it, and you're ready to go. You have all these curated games ready to play on a nice little format where it shows you the picture of the game, it shows you a little bit of what the game is, and it tells you the year it was released. I mean, it's a very nice presentation. Now, taking a look at the games, like I said, I mean, it has a lot of games already, somewhere along like 1,500, probably a little bit more, but I mean, who's counting? So I mean, I checked out a few games. I played Bubble Bubble, which is an arcade game that I really enjoyed. I still actually own it on the PS4. They released it for the arcade classics, and I play the hell out of that game. So seeing it on this app gives me great hope to see some really nice arcade style games like that. Now another game that I saw that they had, or another system that I saw that they had actually, was Neo Geo. They had a lot of Neo Geo games on that. It has Samurai Showdown that I saw. It has Sengoku. I think I saw Fatal Fury as well. So I played a little bit on the Samurai Showdown. I hadn't played that game in a long time. I played Sengoku. Hopefully they add the full roster of Neo Geo. Neo Geo was an arcade machine that had a lot of different games on it. I mean, some of them were really good. It has Magician Lord as well, so that one, they do have it on this app. I played that one a little bit as well, but I didn't see NAM 75, which is a really good arcade game. It's a shooter. So I'm hoping that they add a few more on that. I mean, Samurai Showdown 2 is probably my favorite of the Samurai Showdown, so I would definitely like to play that one on there. And a few other arcade games, but let's check out what they do have. I mean, they have Bubble Bubble, they have Samurai Showdown, they have Magician Lord, they have the classic of classics in arcade, Double Dragon. This thing was hugely popular back in the day when it was released. Has Metal Slug, another Neo Geo game that's hugely popular. It has Metal Slug X as well.
Ignition! 1, start! Heavy machine gun! Heavy machine gun! Flame shot!
Has a really cool arcade game that we used to play back in the days. It was really rare, so I think I only saw it in one arcade machine. It was called Combat Tribes. This was like a beat 'em up game, sort of like Final Fight style, but it was really cool. You could play 3 different players. It was a 3-player game. It had some graphic animations on it, so basically like you could get 2 guys and headbutt them together. You could get, like, when they fell onto the floor, you could slam them down. So it had a lot of different moves, which I really enjoyed. It was a really fun game, so they added that one to it. That's one of those rare treasures that you don't really see that much of. So that was a really good arcade game to see on there. So it gives me high hopes to see more coming along the way. Has a lot of shooters as well. I saw Dragon Spirit in there. It was like a dragon shooter game. It has Strikers 1945, I think it was called. So that one's a pretty good shooter as well. Has Ninja Gaiden, the arcade game. So basically a little bit different than your Nintendo game, but it's a really good arcade game. I remember liking playing this game as well. Has another fighting game. It's called Mutation Nation or something like that. It was about monsters fighting each other. So I really like this game. Again, it wasn't the greatest. It was back when in the fighting craze it was released. It wasn't like a crazy game, but it's one of those rare gems that you remember playing them, but like I said, hardly anybody played them. So it's really cool to see these games actually be displayed on an app like this. So really cool to see that. Let's take a look what else we have on it. It also has the Gauntlet games. So if you guys ever remember playing those games, those are really hard arcade games. It was a really cool game. So basically just a running around shooting things, and it was a 2-player game if I remember correctly, but it was really fun. It was really popular back in the days, back in the 80s, I think. So I really didn't get much of gameplay with it, but I was playing it with a little bit, and it's a hard, fun game to play. Now, one thing that I did notice, I don't know if I'm going crazy or not, but I saw Earthworm Jim on that. I did play it, and it looked like the Genesis version. I mean, it said published by Sega or developed by Sega or something like that. So I think it was a Sega Genesis game, which is a bit odd on that end. So we might actually get retro games from other systems, not just arcade games. So that gets me excited as well. So I mean, it has a huge list. But the lastly that I want to mention that I really liked, and I really like playing it. So It's Mortal Kombat. It has Mortal Kombat in there as well. Also, I mean, it's a fledgling app, but we can definitely see where they're going with it. The presentation looks very nice on it, and actually, one thing that I really liked on it. Let's discuss how the app it basically works, what it has. So basically, when you click on a game, it has different challenges as well. So it has a leaderboard, which is pretty cool. It has the challenges that gives you points and stuff. So not just playing the game, you actually play little challenges that gives you points on the app itself. I don't know what those points are going to be good for. I guess just basically bragging rights. But regardless, it's a really nice presentation from the app on that. How it works is when you start the app, it detects a controller. So it does tell you that it requires a controller to be able to play it. Duh. So if you have a Fire TV, that same Fire TV controller could be used as a controller. I mean, just you have the up, down, left, right. These are arcade games, so most of them you should be able to play just with that little dingy controller. Now in my setup, I'm running it on the NVIDIA Shield. We'll discuss a little bit on how it runs on the NVIDIA Shield, but just off the bat, I don't pair my NVIDIA Shield with the controllers that it has because they felt a bit dingy, so I got rid of those and I used my PS4 controllers. However, when you pair the Bluetooth to any Android device, there's a lag on it, which I really hate. So what I did was I actually purchased a little device called 8BitDo, which, let me show you guys. I paired this little device right here. It's called an 8BitDo, and it actually gets rid of that Bluetooth lag. So I really recommend you guys, if you guys have an NVIDIA Shield, pair it up with this and be done with those headaches that basically was the major breaking point on the NVIDIA Shield for me. I enjoy playing it. I mean, you could put all kinds of games on it and it runs them very well. So basically 8BitDo is a must if you actually a gamer and you're running the NVIDIA Shield. Now these guys don't advertise it. It's not like I'm getting paid for any of this stuff, but I'm a gamer and I want you guys to enjoy the same thing that I enjoy. So definitely that will elevate your enjoyment. Because if you try with just the Bluetooth pairing, you're gonna have a huge headache. It's gonna be a bad experience for you, just like it was for me, honestly. It's playable, yes. Is it enjoyable? No, not to the level that I like playing my games. So let's get back to it. So as soon as I launch the app, it detects the 8BitDo and it says, do you want to use the 8BitDo on this app? So when I click yes, it just freezes. So it just hangs there, and it takes a while to actually load up. Now the problem with it is once it loads up, the 8BitDo doesn't work. So I tried different methods to actually get it to work, and I did get it to work. So, but let me just basically rant about what's going on right now. So basically when you do that and when you just let it run, let it launch, it takes about a minute or so to launch. After they ask you if you want to launch the 8BitDo, I have to shut off the control. I have to restart the NVIDIA Shield and then relaunch everything again. So the way that I got it to work, maybe you guys got it a different way. If you guys did, put it in the comments. Maybe somebody will figure out a better way to do it than I did. So basically what I would do is I started out, when it asked me if I want to use 8BitDo, I put yes, and when it hangs, I just get out, go to the menu, close down the app, open it up again, and again I would launch it again. Actually it takes like 3 times to actually launching it before it actually launches properly, and once it does, it plays fine. I mean, there's no lag from my controller side on that. So that's something that I guess they could work out the kinks on the app itself. It's not something that's genuinely breaking for the app. It just has to do some more with my setup than it does with the app itself. So I don't blame him for that. And since it is a new app that's basically barely coming out, it's something that they'll have to work out the kinks for. Now, another thing that I did notice that could be potentially breaking on it, but again, since it's such of a new app, they still have to work out the kinks on it. I noticed a bit of a lag. When you see this little red thing that comes out on the side, you start noticing a lag, a significant lag sometimes. Sometimes it's not really noticeable, sometimes it is. So playing Bubble Bubble, I played it quite a bit, or I played Samurai Showdown as well. So basically, when you're playing the game and you notice this little red thing pop up, there's a significant lag on your input, which playing a fighting game, if it's not detecting your inputs, then you're dead. I mean, you can't do any moves, you can't do anything. Same thing for arcade games as in general, honestly. So playing Bubble Bubble, I just died instantly as soon as that lag started coming up. So that's something to watch out for. However, I can't blame it entirely on the app because my internet this week has been horrendous. I actually gave it a week to actually try it out to see how it would work. But even playing mobile games, which I have been, I've noticed a lag on my internet. So it's obviously not an app problem. It's an internet problem, my internet problem. So you might have a different experience all around than I did playing it this week. Now I can say that towards the end of it, it actually started getting a little bit better. So when it works very well. I mean, I played a session of Bubble Bubble, and I got through to like round 30 or something like that. So it is playable, and though I did notice a few skips even when it was working fine, it wasn't groundbreaking, and it wasn't this huge lag that I was noticing when I was first checking it out. So again, I can't say for certain that it was the app. uh, I or maybe it's an amalgamation of both things, you get me? So maybe it's the app, and maybe it's my internet not working, not cooperating. However, I wouldn't blame it entirely on the app itself being laggy like that, because I did get it to work fine. Maybe since it is new, I mean, maybe the servers are still coming up, so maybe they're still getting slammed just because it's a lot of people signing on at once, and that might be a reason. But I would like to think that definitely my internet did not play ball on this one. So I would give it another shot just because of the sheer potential of what this app has and what it could bring to us retro gamers. I mean, look at the presentation, just check out how neat it looks, how it brings a community together. I am really excited to share this with you guys. Again, like, none of these people are advertised or anything like that. It's just something really cool that I wanted to share with you guys. It's a retro style app for us retro gamers. Arcade games are bountiful there, and you don't have to pay anything for it. I mean, shoot, why not? Check it out, you get me? Now, further on the line, hopefully they start getting more money where they can add more arcade games. I mean, there's a slew of arcade games that we all like to play. I mean, imagine playing Street Fighter or World Warrior on that. Imagine that they add player versus player on that. I mean, the growth potential for an app like this is there. I know that the community is there as well. I mean, I would definitely pay a subscription fee if that was the case. If you could actually add more games to it, if you could actually add player versus player to it. I mean, playing Street Fighter 2, playing Mortal Kombat 2, I mean, playing all of these different arcade games that when we were younger we used to play arcade games, is definitely something that's enticing to me, and I know a lot of other different people. So keep an eye out on this app. Like I said, right now it's free to play. From what I understand, it's going to be ad based. So if you don't want the ads, you could subscribe
to a premium subscription on that, so I don't know how much it's gonna be. I don't research it enough to actually care about that, but the potential that it has and the presentation that it already shows made me want to do a video and share it with you guys, so that we can, as a community, help it grow and help it get a lot more popular, so that we can get a lot more games on that. I mean, the good part about it is we don't have to download anymore. Like I said, I have my own setup, but it's tedious. It's tedious getting it up and running, and just basically signing up with an email and being able to play all these games is definitely a huge thumbs up for me. So I want you guys to go check it out. Hopefully this app is going to be around for a long time, and it grows and it succeeds, because retro games is definitely where it's at for me, and I want to be able to say that this app is where you want to go to play them. So that's it for this week, and if, as always, if you guys like my content, remember to subscribe, remember to give me a thumbs up. I hear tell that it helps. I don't know how, but just help me out with that. Let's build that community together, that retro community, and as always, stay retro.